Hey everyone, this is Troy Harper here at Harper Cigar Lounge. How's all my Harper Cigar Lounge family out there all around the world? I'm doing good. It's so good to be back with you guys again. I've been looking forward to this since the last time I was down here with you guys. So glad to be here. So glad you could join me. I hope you have a great time today. I think you're going to really enjoy this podcast today and this show. I really do. I think you're going to have a great time. And thank you for being here. Thank you for all you members that have joined and that are here with me today. Hopefully, there's some people out there today watching that haven't joined Harper Cigar Lounge yet, but after this podcast, hopefully you will. But anyway, thanks guys for being here. I hope you can just escape from this nasty old world and kick back and relax and have a good smoke with me. Maybe have a good drink and have some great music on in the background that you enjoy, hard rock, heavy metal, hopefully. And I just hope you have a great time, like I said. So, again, thank you for joining me. You guys mean the world to me. I'm so glad to be here with you guys again. I've been so anxious to get back. So, today, I'm going to be getting into this really beautiful cigar, this Diesel D.10th. It's a 10th anniversary stick from Diesel. It is a Robusto 5.5 by 52. It's a full-bodied cigar considered, and it's just got a really nice, toothy, firm, rustic, kind of a dark, maybe almost a black-colored wrapper, as you can see. Just a beautiful cigar, and it just feels really nice and silky as well in my hand. But anyway, the wrapper on this is Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro, and the binder and filler is Nicaraguan. But yeah, I'm really anxious to smoke this with you guys today. I've really been interested in the Diesel line. I've been looking at a lot of different ones, and they all look just really good. And so I'm really anxious to get into this stick and try it. And hope you guys, if you have one of these, hopefully you'll tell me how yours was, what your experience was, your taste, all the taste notes, whatever it was with you. Hopefully you'll let me know. But if you don't have one of these today, sitting around in your home or wherever you're at right now, hopefully you got something else that you'll enjoy smoking with me while I smoke this today. So, but anyway, I'll definitely get into cutting this and lighting it. And I'll let you know how I feel about this stick and the taste notes and the construction. Everything about this, I will let you know how I feel about it. But anyway, I think you will enjoy the show today. I'm really anxious to get into some things with you guys that I think you'll enjoy listening to and learning about. So anyway, but let me get into cutting this. I've been using my Zyphe cutter and lighter, V-cut, and lighter. But anyway, I'm going to use my Deadwood Tobacco Company guillotine cutter. Since it's a little bit of a smaller cigar, I don't want to do a V-cut so deep into this. I want to just do a nice straight cut on this one today. And so anyway, so that's what I'm using today is my Deadwood Tobacco Company oh, I have it upside down. Anyway, my Deadwood Tobacco Company guillotine cutter, there it is. And I'll be using my Deadwood Tobacco cigar lighter. It's a 2-torch lighter, so I'll be using that as well. So anyway, let me get into this. And one thing I do like about these is it catches the cap in there. But before I cut this, I'm going to just kind of moisten the tip of this. Get a good taste for the wrapper. It's got a nice smell to it. A little bit of a barnyard hay smell to it. So anyway, it smells really good though. Really good. I know when I say barnyard and hay, you probably are thinking what it smells like when you're on a farm, but it really isn't. It really does not smell like that. It's just got a nice it does have a, like I said, a hay barnyard kind of smell, but just a really, it's a different kind of barnyard hay smell. Just smells really good. Really good. Anyway, got my cap moistened. Go ahead and cut this. There's the cap right there. Take that out. I'm gonna do a cold draw on this. The notes that I read on the internet, it said in the cold draw there's espresso. Or I'm sorry, in the cold draw there's cocoa and green raisin. So we'll see, you know, if it does have those taste notes to me, and we'll see if it's gonna have a tighter draw or a looser draw. Definitely getting some cocoa, and the draw feels great on it. It doesn't feel tight or anything, so looks like it's gonna be a great draw. But anyway, I've had this in my humidor for a little while now. I actually purchased this at my grocery store, Main Street Market here in Kimball, Nebraska. Actually purchased this at my store. So I've had this and a few other ones in my humidor for a while, but I've been wanting to wait and smoke this at the right time, and I felt today was a great time to do this. So I'm definitely getting the cocoa, but I'm not sure about the green raisin or not. I'm not really getting that right now, I don't think, in the cold draw. But anyway, I'm going to slip my band off, and I was going to show you this up close. There it says D.10th right there. So this is a 10th anniversary stick for Diesel. And there's the band again. But just a really pretty cigar. So anyway, let me get this foot band off, and we'll get into lighting this thing up. Go through the whole toasting process here, and I try not to rush my toasting. I really try to take my time with that to get it toasted the right way so it burns evenly, so I have a great experience with it. But I don't want to cook my my tobacco. I just want to toast it, just char it just a little bit. Get that tobacco lit. And when I get it all burned evenly, I will give it one more light. But I try to spin my cigar, try to get every bit of that tobacco burned evenly. Blow on a little bit, see if it's all. Well, there we go. Thought I lost my lighter for a second. It's almost there. I got the outside areas charred good. Now I'm going to work on the center. Getting that toasted good here. There, it's pretty much done, I think. Not sure why my lighter's doing this. Gosh, right off the bat. Oh boy, getting a lot of black pepper right off the bat here. Right at the start of the light, or just my puff on this, got a really good hit of pepper. And let's see what the taste notes say for after light up. First thing it shows, and let me back up. I got my information off Cigars International and Stogie Guys cigar reviews. And the information I got was after light up, first taste note you're going to get is black pepper, which I definitely got. The other ingredient was espresso, cedar and oak, and cayenne heat. That was the taste notes. It says on the first third. In the last third, it says cashew, char, natural tobacco sweetness, also a creaminess. So we'll see. We'll see what this does. But definitely getting some nice black pepper. I'm a big fan of cigars with black pepper, so definitely getting some nice black pepper. Getting a lot of nice smoke off of this. Getting kind of kind of an oak or barnyard smell to the aromas in the air. So, but yeah, definitely tasting good so far. We'll see what this continues to do. Anyway, so let me get into some birthdays. We had a birthday on October 10th, 1954, which is David Lee Roth. I'm sorry, he had a birthday on October 10th. It's not. He was born in 1954, but his birthday was just on October 10th. Was just a couple days ago. So on Tuesday, he had his birthday, and he's 69 years of age now, also known as Diamond Dave, and born in Bloomington, Indiana. And he was with Van Halen from 92 to 94, or I'm sorry, with Van Halen from 1972 to 1984. Then he had a solo career from 1985 to 2006. And then he returned back to Van Halen in 2007 to 2015. And of course, gosh, I got a mind block here. Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfgang Van Halen, was on bass instead of I can't even think today. My gosh, guys, I'm sorry. Anyway, gosh, I'm sorry. I will have to hopefully think of his name here in a moment. The original bass player for Van Halen, Wolfgang Van Halen, replaced him. Michael Anthony, sorry, Michael Anthony. Was not with Van Halen when David Lee Roth returned. Like I said, it was Wolfgang Van Halen that played bass. And so anyway, hopefully I can keep my mind together now. But anyway, so the last known performance for Van Halen with David Lee Roth was actually at the House of Blues in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay Inn. And that was on December 21st through December 2021 through January 2022. So anyway, and then David Lee Roth is going to be bringing out a book that's going to be coming soon. January 1st of 2024 is when it's supposed to be out, and that's called How David Lee Roth Changed the World, penned by Darren Dew, and let's see, penned by Darren is what I read on the internet. I'm not sure what his last name is, and it's on Backbeat Books. So anyway, so like I said, due out on January 1st, 2024 on Backbeat Books. So anyway, just some quick, let's see here, that the last Van Halen album that was recorded live was from the Different Kind of Truth tour back in 2012, and it was at the Tokyo Dome in 2015. So anyway, but just a quick rundown of the Van Halen discography. Of course, the first Van Halen was in 1978, just self-titled Van Halen. Then there was Van Halen 2 in 1979. Women and Children First in 1980. Fair Warning in 1981. Diver Down 1982. And 1984 titled album in 1984. All on Warner Brothers Records. And so all great albums. I can't even count how many great songs are on each of these albums. If you're new to the hard rock heavy metal scene and you're wanting to dive into some of the older bands I've been around, definitely check out Van Halen's albums with David Lee Roth. This cigar is doing very well. I am getting just a slight uneven burn right now, but still getting a lot of great smoke off of this. The construction's staying good, no cracking or unraveling. I am getting some cocoa now along with that pepper, so just wanted to let you know what those taste notes are now that I'm tasting. Anyway, so back to David Lee Roth. And then his solo career, he had the same amount of solo albums that he was with the Van Halen albums. So anyway, Crazy from the Heat, 1985. Eat 'Em and Smile in 1986, which was a really great album. Skyscraper, 1988. A Little Ain't Enough in 1991. Your Filthy Little Mouth in 1994. And Our Band in 1998. And the last one was called Diamond Dave in 2003. So that's a rundown on David Lee Roth's albums with Van Halen and on his solo career. So, and then I also needed to mention that, like I said, he had returned back to Van Halen. Let's see here, that was in 2012 that A Different Kind of Truth was recorded, and then of course the live album from the Tokyo Dome came out. Even though the live album didn't come out until 2015, it was recorded in 2013. So anyway, but that Different Kind of Truth album is really good. I don't have it down here with me, but I do have all the Van Halen stuff. I got everything with Sammy Hagar as well. The comeback album, A Different Kind of Truth, in 2012, was a great album. It really was. So if you guys haven't found that yet, check it out if you're into live albums. So anyway, moving on. The next birthday we had was Eric Lee Martin, or Eric Martin of Mr. Big, the lead singer for Mr. Big, born on October 10th, 1960, and he's age 63. David Lee Roth, I hope I mentioned, but he's 69 years of age now. But anyway, so Eric Martin is age 63 now, and he had a hit back in 92 called To Be With You that he made with Mr. Big. He's vocals, guitar, and drums. I didn't know that he did any drums on any of the Mr. Big albums, so I didn't know that. But anyway, before Mr. Big, he had the Eric Martin Band from 1978 to 1985. And then he had a bunch of solo albums between 1985 and 1988. And then Mr. Big, of course, formed in 1988, went on until 2002, and then they had a hiatus, and then got back together in 2009, and still they're together. Right now they're on the Big Finish tour. They'll be, well, I'm sorry, they will be starting the Big Finish tour in January. They'll hit the USA states first between January 12, 2024 to February 24th, 2024. And then they'll go on to Europe and the UK on March 17th, 2024 through April 15th of 2024. And during this tour, they will also do the Lean On It album that came out in 1991. They'll do it, that whole album in its entirety. And that album that had two great hits was Alive and Kickin' and To Be With You. Those were the two big, huge hits off of that album. So they'll be doing that whole album in its entirety on this tour that's coming up. So definitely catch those guys if you can. I think it's gonna be a great show that Mr. Big puts on, and yeah, I hope to catch them somehow. I'm not seeing any cities close to where I'm at. I'm close to Denver, Colorado. Not seeing anything listed for Denver. Maybe they'll slip in a few dates. Hopefully, I hope anyway. So, always wanted to see Mr. Big, and was hoping that they would play close to where I'm at, you know, so I could see him. So anyway, if you can catch those guys, definitely check them out. Definitely check them out. So, let me get into some music news after I get a puff here. I am going to give this just a touch up, just a quick little touch up. Oh, I just dropped my ash. Oh, gosh. Seems like I've been doing that a lot on these shows. Oh, anyway, it's fine. It hasn't done any damage. But anyway, let me give this just a little bit of a touch up here. Get some of my extra ash off of here. So let me, as you can see, it's got just a slight uneven burn there. This part right here that I'm showing you right there is what I'm going to even out. And then hopefully it'll stay straightened out after that. So we'll see how it does after this. Hopefully this will do the trick. And I believe it will. I've heard nothing but great reviews on these cigars, so I really think it's going to be just fine. I really do. So anyway, so we'll see what that does. But the ash has been great so far, actually. It's had a really nice gray ash on it. So really good ash so far on it. So I've been really happy with that. Anyway, into music news. David Coverdale of Whitesnake says he still has no decisions on Whitesnake's future. And I believe he's talking about touring-wise because they've been on their farewell tour. Still trying to get his physical aspect together, he said. So anyway, so no news of when they're going to start the farewell tour up yet. Hopefully, David Coverdale will, you know, start getting healthier here soon and be able to get back out and finish that tour. That'd be a great show to see. And he wants to. He's also given his love out to Steven Tyler. He's the Aerosmith tour has had to be postponed until next year due to Steven Tyler's his vocal cords have been bleeding, and so he's having to give his vocal cords time to rest. So anyway, so he's having to postpone everything with Aerosmith. So hopefully he'll heal quickly and they'll be back out on the road soon. Anyway, I really do, and I'm keeping Steven in my prayers and thoughts daily. So anyway, Steven, get better out there. We hope to see you soon, definitely. So, let's see here. New video out for Extreme called Hurricane. So check that out on YouTube. New video from Extreme called Hurricane. So make sure you check it out. I checked it out. It's a great song. So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't listened to it yet. Klaus Meine of the Scorpions, lead singer for the Scorpions, says they will be touring in 2024 and 2025 for the 60th anniversary of the Scorpions. So I can't believe 60 years that these guys have been going. It's just amazing to me. And they haven't missed a lick all the way through. They've just, every show and every performance they've done through the 70s up through now has been great. And I love that they got Mickey D on the drums. He's just, I think he was a great fit for the Scorpions. He's doing great. And I don't know if you guys know Mickey D. He was with King Diamond. And he was also with Motorhead. So, but anyway, so make sure you guys catch those guys when they go back out on the road. And Mickey D, I think, is a great drummer, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about him, so I really believe he's kind of kind of underrated drummer, but I think he's one of the best out there in the business. So anyway, and then Metallica's James Hetfield threw out a comment that Lars Ulrich, the drummer for Metallica, of course, has never rehearsed live for a live show ever. So that's amazing, because watching all the live shows they've done, he's amazing. I can't put into words how great he is on the drums live, and of course in the studio, on all the studio albums, he's great as well, and one of the best drummers definitely out there. But it's just hard to believe that he hasn't rehearsed ever for a show up until 4 or 5 years ago, is what James Hetfield said. 4 or 5 years ago, around there, he started allowing himself to rehearse for live shows. So that's pretty amazing. Anyway, and then Creed's Scott Stapp announces that he will have a new solo album called Higher Power, and that's due out March 15th of 24, and that'll be on Napalm Records. And that album will be out 1 month before he hits the stage with Creed again. This will be the first, coming up will be the first time that Scott Stapp and Creed have played together since 10 years ago. So they'll be on a cruise called the Norwegian Pearl. Well, they're on the Norwegian Pearl that will leave from Miami and go to Nassau, Bahamas. And that festival that they're doing is called, let's see here, it's called the 99 Cruise. And that'll be, like I said, in 2024, from April 18th. Let's see here. Let's see here. That'll be from April 12th to April 18th in 2024, that cruise. So anyway, so they will leave from Miami, Florida, and go to Nassau, Bahamas. So anyway, a few other acts that are on that cruise is Three Doors Down, Buck Cherry, Tonic, and Fuel, and says more acts as well. So I don't know who else is playing on that. Well, anyway, so that'll be exciting. If you guys can catch that cruise and go on it, I'll be happy for you. I think that would be a good cruise to go on to see those bands, especially if you're a pretty big Creed fan. And I was I'm definitely a Creed fan. It's been a while since I've really listened to their music. I've got a few of their CDs. I need to break them out, I guess, and listen to them again sometime. But for some of the 90s music, 90s hard rock music, Creed was definitely a band that I really liked a lot. So anyway, that's kind of exciting news to see that Creed's going to be back together playing live after 10 years of not doing that. So maybe it will turn into something to where they're back together. If things go well and they feel great playing together, maybe they'll get back together and do another album and maybe do some touring again. So that'd be great to see. So we'll see what happens with Creed. Anyway, all you Creed fans, keep an eye on that, and hopefully you guys can be a part of that cruise, like I said. So, and then Tobias Forge of Ghost, lead singer for Ghost. There's going to be an upcoming Ghost movie, and it's going to be more of a film with a concert element to it. That footage that they're using was from the Inglewood, California show that was done recently at the Forum. So that's where the footage will be coming from for the movie. So anyway, that'll be interesting to see what that movie's like, to see what all they put in that. I know Metallica did a movie, and I've got the CD. I've got the CD tucked away. I gotta break it out and listen to it again. But there was a DVD that, and I think they even had it out in the theaters. And I can't remember what that CD was called, but they did a movie with a concert, with concert footage throughout it. And so I will have to break out that CD so I can see what the name of that CD was, what that album was. But if you guys have that album that I'm talking about, leave it in the comments for me. Let me know what that album was called. I wish I could think of the name of it, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good overall. It was had some great live stuff. And some of the stuff I saw in between the live footage was pretty good. So anyway, on to some other things. I thought today I'd kind of get into, of course, my favorite band, Kiss. Of course, they're retiring this year. December 1st and December 2nd will be the last shows they do, and that'll be at Madison Square Garden. And I hate to see them go. They're going to be missed. They are going to talk about doing one more cruise, I guess, but it won't be in makeup. They won't be in makeup or anything like that. I don't know what they got in plans for that or what plans they have for that. I'm guessing they'll do an acoustic set like they usually do, and they'll probably do a regular stage set. But again, it'll be without the makeup and without the costumes. And then I'm guessing that'll be the last cruise they do. So, and that'll be sometime next year. So anyway, Kiss formed in New York City in 1973, and of course they were on Casablanca Records, and made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014. So let's see here. That will be it'll be very surreal to see them go. This is a band I've been following ever since I've been 7 years old. When I was 6 years old, I heard the song "Calling Dr. Love" on one of my mom's compilation albums when I was about 6 years old, but I didn't really get to know who Kiss was until a year later. I was 7 years old, found out through who they were through a friend. And first time I heard them, and I know you guys have heard this story before, but the first thing I heard from them was Kiss Live 2. First track off of that I heard was Detroit Rock City. And just seeing the pictures and hearing how they sounded, and just seeing all the stuff hanging up in this kid's room that I was hanging out with, I was totally blown away and became hooked immediately. So, but anyway, members, and I'm not going to be discussing today any of the non-makeup era stuff, which I will get into that in another show, because I love the non-makeup era as well. But I wanted to get into the original members, and also get into just discussing all the albums, the original albums that they had in makeup. And I'll kind of show you a little bit of some memorabilia I got to today, with all the original members. The only other member I'm going to discuss besides the original members is Eric Carr. Yeah, I mean, he was a huge part of Kiss in the makeup era. Fortunately, wasn't with them in makeup for very long, but he came in and took over for Peter Criss and just really gave Kiss a harder edge sound, and just really pushed Kiss into a different direction, helped push Kiss into a different direction that I think was great. But anyway, the original members of Kiss is, of course, Paul Stanley. Original name is Bert Eisen, and he was born on January 20th of 1952. And then Gene Simmons, Chaim Witz is his Hebrew name. And then Ace Frehley, his original name is Paul Daniel, and he was born on April 27th of 1951. And then I forgot to write down Gene Simmons' birth date, but he was born pretty close around the same time as Ace. And then Peter Criss, his original name is George Peter John Criss Cola, and he was born December 20th of 1945. So anyway, but interesting names, and I thought it was always funny how Paul Stanley Paul was Ace's original name, so I thought it was funny that Paul Stanley went with the name Paul when that was Ace's original first name. So anyway, but let's see here. Yeah, so anyway, I do want to just bring up Eric Carr. Of course, he joined Kiss in 1980 on the Unmasked tour, and he was with them, up until 91, from 1980 to 1991. He passed away in 91 of heart cancer. So anyway, so he was born July 12th of 1950, and of course he died on November 24th of 1991. And then I will bring up also Mark St. John, even though he wasn't with Kiss during the makeup days. He was a guitarist for Kiss on the Animalize album in 1984, and that's the only album he did. He only toured a few shows because his hand got a condition where it puffed up and got arthritis in his hand. It puffed up and he couldn't play anymore. But he was born in February. He was born on February 7th of 1956, and he passed away on April 5th of 2007. So anyway, so for the studio albums, hold on a second. Wanted to get a puff on my cigar before we went further. Give you guys some news on what's going on with this real quick. Right now I'm getting pepper still. And let's see, what else? I'm trying to remember what all they said that the taste notes were supposed to be. Black pepper, espresso, cedar oak, and cayenne heat. Definitely getting some oak. I would say definitely some oak. Getting a lot of that black pepper. Definitely a little bit of a spice, so that must be the cayenne heat that they're talking about on the reviews. So anyway, that's what I'm kind of getting. But more pepper than anything. It's not burning out, but I feel like it will if I don't give it a touch up or just a relight here. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a relight. Touching up just a hair again. Still getting just a slight uneven burn. Not real bad, but I thought I'd give it just a little bit of a touch up. Just to keep this thing going the way it needs to. But the taste notes are great. The construction is still great. Like I said, I've been battling with a little bit of an uneven burn. I've had to relight it once. I've had to touch up twice. But anyway, we'll see if I can keep this going the way it needs to from here on now. But still tasting great. Getting some really great smoke and great aromas of oak. And definitely getting a little bit of a kind of a coffee smell in the air a little bit, I would say. Definitely kind of a dark coffee kind of a smell. So anyway, so Kiss, we'll go over the Kiss studio albums, and I've got them rated. But Kiss, the first album, just called Kiss, came out in 74. Hotter Than Hell, 74. Dressed to Kill, 75. Destroyer, 1976. Destroyer, 1976. Rock and Roll Over in 76. Love Gun, 1977. And then there was the solo albums in 78 with Paul, Gene, Ace, and Peter. And then Dynasty came out in 1979. Unmasked in 1980. Creatures of the Night, 1982. And Cycle Circus in 1998. And then of course they had some great live albums during the makeup era. They had Kiss Alive in '75, which really saved Casablanca. They were bankrupt. They were betting on Kiss to really get that label going, which they did. They were, like I said, they were bankrupt. They put so much money out on Kiss's studio albums and the touring, and really what saved Casablanca was putting out a live album for Kiss, because there wasn't really any live albums too much at the time, and so that was a big gamble, huge gamble. But Kiss, people were going to see Kiss for their live shows, but weren't buying the studio albums really, which there was only 3 out at the time when they brought out the Kiss Alive. But when people went to go see Kiss, they talked about Kiss's live shows so much that Kiss thought, well, since they know us for our live shows, let's put out a live album. And that's what saved Casablanca. That album went through the roof and sold millions of copies. And that's really what saved Casablanca. So, and of course, Casablanca went on to sign a lot of other bands. Village People's one, which we won't get into Village People. And then, of course, they had Kiss Live 2 in '77, which is where I first discovered Kiss. Great album. And then in 2006, they did a Millennium Concert live album. And then and that was recorded on December 31st, '99, through January of 2000. There was 2 shows that was recorded for that album. Kiss Alive was recorded at Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan, and as well as the Wildwoods Convention Center in Wildwood, New Jersey, and the Cleveland Music Hall, and then also in RKO Orpheum Theater in Davenport, Iowa, if I read that right. So several places where they recorded for Kiss Alive. Kiss Alive 2 was recorded at the Forum in Inglewood, California, as well as the Capitol Theater in Passaic, New Jersey, and also in Budokan, Tokyo, Japan. And then the Alive Millennium Concert was recorded in British Place, Columbia, or British Place Stadium in Vancouver. I apologize. So at the British Place venue in Vancouver is where some of the Alive Millennium Concert was recorded. And then, of course, they brought out, what was it, 2001? They brought out, it was a live album from Australia, in Australia, and that was it was called Kiss Alive 4, but it had a children's choir behind Kiss, and then so half of it was with the choir, and then the other half was with them doing their regular stage set. It was called Kiss Symphony is what it was called, Kiss Symphony, and I believe that was in 2001 when that came out. So some great live albums with the original members out there. That album they did in Australia, the Kiss Symphony album was a great album. I really loved that album. And unfortunately, I knew at that time that was probably going to be the last time we saw Peter Criss with Kiss, and sure enough, it was. On that concert, they did have Tommy Thayer, and they're replacing Ace Frehley as well. But I knew that was probably going to be the last time that Peter Criss was going to be with Kiss, because he had already quit Kiss, but they had talked him into coming back to do that symphony album. So anyway, on the cigar, getting some black pepper still, getting some coffee definitely now, getting some really strong like black coffee. Definitely getting some little bit of cedar and oak still. But I've been really happy with how the cigar tastes. And I'm definitely going to start checking more out with the Diesel line, I really think. I've heard nothing but great things about Diesel. And this cigar has been doing pretty good overall. Like I said, I've had to relight it once. I had to touch it up a couple times. But that hasn't been enough to ruin my experience with this. It's just been a great tasting cigar so far. And love the aromas that I'm getting off of it. And I love how it feels in my hand. Just a nice silky wrapper, like I said. But still staying together very well. And it's actually keeping the burn pretty even now, as you can see. Fairly even. So, and it's getting some nice gray ash on there again. But anyway, what I want to get into, I want to do my review on the Kiss albums and put them in the order that I think I'll do the greatest to the least greatest albums, which I love all the Kiss albums, don't get me wrong, but I want to do my favorite to the least favorite that I have. So anyway, so the first album that I thought was their best album, I got two versions of this, is the Hotter Than Hell album that came out, of course, in '74. It was the second album, like I said, that Kiss brought out. So these are both remasters, but this one's got just the black album on it, and there's the back of it. Let me get that held up a little bit better. So there's the front, there's the back. And on this album, that one just has the black colored album, black vinyl. On this one, oh, and I haven't, I never did open this one. But this one's got a colored vinyl. And I'm not sure what the color of the vinyl is on the inside, but it's got a colored vinyl. This was a 45th anniversary edition. And I never have opened it, so I don't even know what color the vinyl is on the inside, to be honest with you. I know a lot of them have been orange, so maybe it's an orange vinyl. So maybe one day I'll open it up and see what color vinyl that is, I guess. But anyway, so this is my number one album right here. Just a dark, raw, edgy album. And some of the great songs on this was Got to Choose Parasite. Hotter Than Hell is definitely the number one song they brought out off of this, in my book. Let Me Go Rock and Roll. All the Way Watching You. Mainline, which Peter Criss sings on. And his vocals are just so raw and just edgy. And just his voice has just got that raspy voice. I just fell in love with Peter Criss's voice. Coming Home in Strange Ways. Those are the songs off of this album. But my favorite is definitely, I'd have to say my favorite song is Hotter Than Hell. And I'd have to say my other favorite song on this is Mainline from Peter Criss, definitely. Hotter Than Hell, definitely a great song that Paul Stanley sings on here. But Mainline from Peter Criss, I tell you what, that song just really made this album that much more of a favorite to me. So anyway, Hotter Than Hell, 1975. And then the second album that I'm rating, my next second favorite album of theirs is, let me find it. Here we go. Is this one right here, Creatures of the Night. And this one, of course, features Eric Carr. And this album, like I said, is my second favorite. It was hard, heavy, raw, and very edgy album. And it was just hard. And it really reminded me of the Hotter Than Hell album, how heavy the Hotter Than Hell album was. I just thought this was just a great album that was hard and heavy as well during the non-makeup days. And Eric Carr, like I said, having him behind the drum kit just really brought Kiss into a different style of their music. And some of the great songs on this is Creatures of the Night, of course, Saint and Sinner, Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger. And of course, I Love It Loud, I Still Love You, Killer, and War Machine. Those were the great songs. And of course, like, during this time, Neil Bogart had passed away. And so there was a tribute to him on the bottom of this. Neil Bogart, 1943 to 1982. Neil Bogart is who signed Kiss on Casablanca Records. So anyway, right there you can see where they dedicated that to Neil Bogart, this album. But anyway, there's the back cover. And just a great album. The inner sleeve is just, it's just got the lyrics on it. So I won't pull that sleeve out. But my second favorite album of Kiss, definitely Creatures of the Night. And that, again, came out in 1982. So, anyway, number 2 favorite. Let's see here. Gotta make sure I get these back in order. Okay, and number 3, after I take a puff here. Still tasting very good, very good. No taste notes have really changed too much. I think I am getting a little more of the creaminess though, on top of the pepper and coffee. God, I want to say, even though I didn't mention it, when I say espresso, I'm getting espresso, but I'm getting kind of a chocolate, like a dark chocolate taste with it. So I'm loving that, but definitely some espresso, dark chocolate, coffee, pepper still, slight pepper now, but more of the espresso, chocolate. I think I'm getting, and it's still just really creamy tasting right now as well. Number 3 on my list is the very first album Kiss brought out, just called Kiss. And that was in 1974, very first album they brought out. There's the back, right there. And there is no inner sleeve on this. I've got my own sleeve on this, right there. But there's there's what it says. There it shows Casablanca Records. And I got both versions of this as well. 45th Anniversary Edition. And this one I did open. And this one's got a clear, kind of a clear, whitish, more whitish, with a little bit of black splatter on it. So that's what that album looks like. But of course, some of the great songs on this was, let's see here, Strutter, of course, that's a great song. Nothing to Lose. Firehouse, that's probably my favorite off of this album. Cold Gin is another favorite of mine. Let Me Know, I'm sorry. Love Theme from Kiss. Let's see here. Kissin' Time. Deuce, another great song. 100,000 Years, another great song. Black Diamond, great song. And then, gosh, I hope I mentioned Firehouse. But yeah, a lot of great songs on this album. And but it was really hard to decide if this should have been number 1 or Hotter Than Hell being number 1. It was hard to decide. So I put this in at number 3 because it's not a super hard and heavy album, but definitely raw sounding. And just a lot of great songs on this that, a lot of their staple songs that they still sing live to this day was on this album. So just a great album. So I put it at number 3 just because I couldn't decide between this and Hotter Than Hell. But I had to put Creatures of the Night number 2, the number 2 spot, because that album is just so hard and heavy, like like the Hotter Than Hell albums. Hotter Than Hell album. Sorry, I can't talk. Number 4. Jump ahead a little bit to 1977, or 1976. I'm sorry, 1976. And that is, again, the Rock and Roll Over album right there. There's the back of it. And let's see here. There's the inside CD or album jacket right there. Same thing on both sides. But anyway, this album had so many great songs with great hooks that just really got you into what they were doing at the time. Great list of songs on this. Gosh, I don't even know which one would be my favorite exactly. Let's see here. See You in Your Dreams, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. That was a great song with a lot of great hooks in it. Hard Luck Woman with Peter Criss. Gosh, I'd have to probably put that up there with my number 2 favorite song on this. Making Love, Take Me, another great song. Calling Dr. Love, Baby Driver, which was another great song that Peter Criss sang on this. His voice was just so raspy and raw, I just loved it. Ladies' Room and Mr. Speed. A lot of great songs on this album. Again, and this came out in 1976. 1976. Rock and Roll Over. So anyway, another great album. Again, it was hard to decide where to put this, where I rated this album, because it's such a good album. Such a good album. Okay, let me see here. Next one, coming in at number 5 is Love Gun. And I got 2 versions of that as well. I've actually got the original here. I can show you that as well. But anyway, got the remastered versions. One came from Walmart. One came right off of the KISS website. But anyway, this has the gun in it that originally came with the album. Okay, so that's my Walmart version. It does the Walmart version. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. No, this is the one that came right off the KISS website. And let me see if I can. Anyway, this was the first album to have the guys on the album. I don't know if you can see that. They were right on there. Regular black vinyl. And then this was the jacket on the inside that the album was in. Let me see if I can find the little gun, the replica of the original gun that came in the original album. But there it is right there. Right there. So anyway, that's a replica of what came in the original album. Oh, let's see here. There's something else in here as well. Oh, yeah, so that hooks onto the gun. It says bang. So that was the other thing that came in with this. And I think I'll tuck those right inside of this jacket, I think, now that I got this opened up. I think I'll just keep those right in there. Keep them safe. Okay. Let me get this put back together. Okay. Okay, so that's all put back together again. Anyway, so some of the great songs on this, of course, was Love Gun. Got Love for Sale Tomorrow and Tonight, which is a really great song. Christine 16, that was sang by Gene Simmons, of course. Almost Human, Plaster Caster. And then Shock Me was the first song that Ace Frehley ever sang on the KISS albums. So Shock Me from Ace Frehley, which is a great song. Then She Kissed Me, I Stole Your Love. And then one of my other favorites, the very last song of this album is called Hooligan, which Peter Criss sang. And my God, his voice was incredible on that song as well. So anyway, Love Gun, 1977. There's the back of it. Oh, and I forgot to show you, on the Walmart version, this is the red splatter with some black splatter. And again, KISS is right on the on the center of that album there. So, but again, on the Walmart version, you don't get the replica gun with it. But I love the way that album cover, or the color of that album looks. I thought that was just a great touch for the Love Gun album. Okay, let me get that back in here. Let's see here. I thought I had the original. I guess I thought I had the original Love Gun. I think I actually may. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's the original Love Gun right there. I had it out of place. But I don't think this one, that when I got this copy, oh, let's see here. Okay, I don't have the gun for this one, but I've got the original order form. There's the order form for the comic book that came out with Kiss, where they put their blood in the ink. And I do have this comic in plastic put away in great shape. If any of you guys want to give me a great offer on that, we might have to talk. I may have a hard time parting with it, but if the money's right, I would definitely look at maybe selling that. I've seen copies like mine worth around $1,500. So if anyone wants to throw me some great deals on that, I may look at working out something with you if you're ever interested. But anyway, there's an order form for Kiss merchandise from during the Love Gun era. So, but anyway, so that's the original Kiss Love Gun album right there. Okay, and then the number 6 spot, after I take a puff here, I think I let it go out on me here. Let me get it relit. Anyway, yeah, so I've had to relight it twice now. I've had to touch it up twice. But it's sure been a great tasting cigar so far, so. Anyway, let's see what this cigar does from here on. Let's see, I just discussed Love Gun at number 5. Number 6 is Dressed to Kill. And this was Kiss's 3rd studio album. And of course, this was the album that they did the Kiss Alive tour on. But there's the front. Dressed to Kill, 1975. There's the back. No album jacket on the inside. This is a remastered copy as well. Side 1 was room service. 2-timer, Ladies in Waiting, Getaway, and which was sang by Peter Criss. Great song by Peter Criss. Rock Bottom. And then Come On and Love Me, Anything for My Baby, She, Love Her All I Can, Rock and Roll All Night, which was their huge song that really, Rock and Roll All Night really took them into the direction that caused them to be just pretty much famous overnight. So, and of course that was featured on the Kiss Alive album. But anyway, great album from 1975. So anyway, I've got that again ranked at number, let's see here, number 6. Ranked at number 6, and that came out in 75. And that was the 3rd studio album from Kiss. And then let's see here. And then of course at number 7, I've got Destroyer. And of course this was the 4th studio album from Kiss. And of course they had gotten so big with the Kiss Alive, they had to go back in and try to make even a bigger album than what they did with Kiss Alive or the other albums. And they did a great job. I definitely say they did a great job. They kind of came out with another anthem, kind of like the way Rock and Roll All Night was. That was an anthem. Their manager Bill Coyne wanted them to come up with an anthem that would really tell people what they were about. And then on this album, they kind of did a second anthem, is what Bill Coyne wanted, was them to do a song that was another anthem, but to try to make it even bigger than what Rock and Roll All Night was. But this album really took off and did great for them. Got a lot of people into Kiss. And this was the first album also that mentioned, or that advertised the Kiss Army, which the Kiss Army started in 1975. And that's the fans. When you're a fan of Kiss, or if you get a tattoo of Kiss, kind of like what I've got, as you can kind of see there, if you follow Kiss and you got Kiss tattoo, you're definitely in the Kiss Army. So, but anyway, so Kiss Army was started because it was in Detroit, I want to say. But someone had went to a radio station and demanded that they play Kiss, and the station wouldn't do it. And so this person that was telling them to play Kiss told them that if they didn't play them, they would get the Kiss Army after them. And so this person somehow got the word out to everybody that they needed to go to the radio station and be around the radio station and stay there at the station until they played Kiss. And so somehow this word got out that Kiss wouldn't play, or the station wouldn't play any Kiss, and this person got all kinds of people to go to the station and demand that they play Kiss, and nobody would leave until they played Kiss. So they threw on a Kiss song, and I can't remember what song it was at the time, because it started in 75. So I'm not sure. I can't remember what song it was that they actually played on the station, and I can't remember where in Detroit, or what station the station was called. Can't remember what the station was called. Sorry, I'm getting my words all fumbled up here. But anyway, that was the start of the Kiss Army in 75. So anyway, so the great songs on this album: Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Great Expectations, Flaming Youth, Sweet Pain, Shout It Out Loud, Beth, and Do You Love Me. Those were the songs on this album, and it is a great album. Definitely a great album. Great hard rock album with a lot of great hooks, and just a great album, just a really great album. So anyway, so Destroyer comes at number 7. Get that put back, and that again was a remastered copy. Okay, we're staying lit. Let's see here. In number 8, I've got music from The Elder. Now, a lot of people would disagree with me on where I rate this album, but I just thought it was so creative. And I just thought some of the stuff they did was pretty genius. This was originally for a movie called The Elder that never did happen. But just a great album, and just a lot of great, really different songs, which this song brought a lot of older people to see who Kiss was, because it was just, it really wasn't made for kids. It was made for adults, really. I think Kiss was kind of wanting to get a different audience and get more people aware of who they were, and so they went in a whole different direction, did a concept album. So anyway, but this album is just, I don't know, in my book, I think it's great. just so different. But Ace Frehley had so much great guitar work in this album, and I thought it was just genius what they did with this album, which they never, Kiss did not like this album. They weren't happy with it, but I definitely was. And maybe a few of you Kiss fans out there will agree that this was definitely a great album. But anyway, the songs on this are Just a Boy, Odyssey, Only You, Under the Rose, Dark Light. A World Without Heroes was a big song for them on this album. Mr. Blackwell, Escape from the Island, and I. So A World Without Heroes was kind of a slower song from Gene Simmons, and I was just a hard hitter, just a very positive kind of a song. So anyway, but just a great album. And again, The Elder came out in 1981. 1981. So I think it's a great album. You guys let me know what you think of this album. I just loved it. I really did. I'll go ahead and open it up. But this was what it looks like when you open it up. It was a gatefold album, but there's only one album in here. It wasn't a double album, but I don't know. I just really loved it. It was kind of medieval kind of themes to it. So anyway, number 8, Music from the Elder, and that was from 1981. So let's see here. Okay. Next one that comes in at number 9 is jumping way ahead to 97. Was Psycho Circus. This was the first studio album that Kiss had brought out since they had done, let's see, Creatures of the Night was the last album in makeup that they did. And so this was the first album they had done. And again, this came out, 1998. First studio album with all the original members. Well, actually, if you want to get technical, the last album they did with all the original members was Unmasked, which we'll get into. And that was from 1980, the Unmasked album. So any album to feature all 4 original members, Psycho Circus, 1998. And of course, they all sang on this. So first song on this album was Psycho Circus, which was their huge hit. Within, I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll, Into the Void, We Are One, You Wanted the Best, Raise Your Glasses, I Finally Found My Way, which was a great song from Peter Criss. Slower, almost big band bluesy, or big band type, song that really reminded me of the songs off of his solo album. Dreamin', Journey of a Thousand Years. And, of course, the Into the Void song is what Ace Frehley sang on this album. But just a great album, guys. It really was a great album. The inside jacket for the album looks it looks just like the album cover, so I won't pull that out. But there's the front. There's the back. So anyway, that was a great tour they did too off of that album. Really great tour. And they wore the Destroyer outfits on that tour. So I thought that was a great way to go with those tours, to wear the Destroyer outfits. Let's see here. Okay. So anyway, Psycho Circus in at number 9, and then Dynasty, which is number 10 in my ratings. More of a disco kind of an album that came out with kind of a disco feel to it. But anyway, there's Dynasty. And that came out in 1979. There's the back of it right there. And I got both versions of this. The 40th anniversary version, which has a green album in there. I never did open this up. I think it's got a green colored vinyl in there. And then the other one, of course, has got black vinyl. But anyway, so good album, definitely a good album. This was probably the first album that my mom bought me. She bought this for me for my 8th birthday. And I found this, I was snooping around, of course, and found this hidden in my mom's closet. So I was really excited that they actually bought me a Kiss album. The first album I owned of Kiss was Kiss Live 2. I saved up for a whole year to get that album. Saved all my change from doing chores. And got word that at the Pomida back in Shatter, Nebraska, where we lived growing up, they had one copy of Kiss Live 2 left. And I talked to them. They said that they couldn't hold it for me because I wanted them to hold it for me, but they said they couldn't. And they said, you know, at the time that once that copy was gone, they weren't going to order any more into Pomida. So I talked my mom into giving me the last $5 I needed to buy that Kiss Live 2 album. And I'll never forget what it was like when I opened that up and saw the stuff in it, which I will kind of get into here shortly. But on this album, Charisma, Dirty Livin', which was from Peter Criss. Dirty Livin' was kind of a song that Peter Criss wrote about how how he was unhappy on the road and at the time, and just pretty much how unhappy he was. So he was kind of hinting around that he was pretty much done with Kiss at the time, or wanting to be done. Dirty Livin', Hard Times, I Was Made for Loving You, which was their huge hit. Magic Touch, Save Your Love, Sure Knows Something, X-Ray Eyes, and 2000 Man that Ace Frehley sang. But I Was Made for Loving You and Sure Knows Something were the two big, huge hits off of Dynasty, and I do love those songs. They do play I Was Made for Loving You still to this day, and they play it faster, so it's a faster version. Really, really love what they've been doing with that song over the years. Let's see here. So then, anyway, Dynasty at number 10 is where I got that ranked. And again, there's the front, and there's the back. Let's see here. I guess I could show you. The inside jacket looks like this. Real disco style stuff going on here. So, but anyway, I thought it was a great album. I really did. I liked this album a lot when I was at a young age. I really did. And then I was also going to show you, it also comes with a replica poster, just like from the original poster back when I was a kid. So there's the original poster, or the replica of the original poster that came in the Dynasty albums. So glad they included that. I thought that was really awesome that they included that in with these remasters. Really happy with all the remasters that Kiss brought out. They got all the old posters and pretty much everything except for the order forms. You know, it would have been cool if they had done a reproduction of the old order forms as well. I thought that would have been really cool, but they didn't. But everything else they pretty much did, so I was happy with how they did that. Let's see here, Dynasty, and then okay, get these back in, and then coming in. So that was at number 10, Dynasty, 1979. Number 11, Unmasked, and this was a very commercial sounding album, very commercial sounding. But Unmasked came out in 1980, and this was the last album to feature all the original members on there. But anyway, just it was a good album, definitely very commercial sounding, and didn't sound disco-ish, but it was just very commercial sounding, very pop kind of sounding. And of course, this was the album that, of course, Peter Criss was definitely, he was not on this album at all. Someone else was doing the drums on this, but they still featured him on the front. But this was the album, the tour that Kiss was doing over in Australia, where Eric Carr came in and took over. So anyway, some of the songs on this, Easy as It Seems, Is That You, Naked City, Shandy, She's So European. Shandy was a huge song, especially over in Australia. This album did really well in Australia, by the way. Talk to Me, Tomorrow, Torpedo Girl, Two Sides of the Coin, What Makes the World Go Round, You're All That I Want. they did a great tour on this. I mean, the live show was great for this, that they toured on this album with, I thought. Kind of same outfits as they did with the Dynasty album. Almost similar album or outfits that they had during the Dynasty tour on this. But they definitely did great with the touring on this album. I thought the stage show was great. Let's see here. Okay, get that back in there. Okay, and then let's see here. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the original members, with the albums from the original members. And then kind of wanted to throw in, found this album, Killers, which is just a compilation album. And it features Eric Carr on the front. And that picture is taken during the Elder era, because they all got their haircuts shorter and everything. And so anyway, but this is the Japanese edition. Really hard album to find in this condition, but I finally found one. So I love that album. And let's see here. I think that's it for some of the special albums. Of course, let me show you the and then Kiss had brought out this double platinum album, and this was right before they did all the solo albums, and this came out in I want to say this came out in '78, right before the solo albums. Double platinum, another compilation album that they brought out. And then of course I gotta throw in and show you guys the solos, the solo albums here. Let's see here. These came out in '78. And of course my mom and my grandma bought me these albums as well. Around my 9th birthday, I think. Anyway, there's Peter Criss. And then there's the back of it there. Ace Frehley. And I just love the artwork. I thought was great on these albums. I was just in awe of these album covers, how the paintings were. But there's the back. And these albums, they dedicated them all to each other. On the top, it'll say to, and then each of the band members. Anyway, there's Paul Stanley. And of course, the back. And right there on the top, you'll see where they, to Ace, Gene, and Peter. So each album, they dedicated these albums to each other. So there's that one. And then last but not least, Gene Simmons. There's Gene Simmons. And these are remasters also. I do got the originals. But anyway, and then there's the back right there. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. I gotta wipe my nose. I've been dealing with some allergy issues today. But anyway, my ratings on these, I thought this would be my number one. The Ace solo is my favorite. I thought that was the Kiss sound definitely came out through the Ace Frehley album. I really thought. And then I really thought that the next album that really had that Kiss sound was, of course, Paul Stanley's album. So I've got him coming in number 2 on the solo albums. And then number 3, Gene Simmons. I thought he had some really great songs on here. Some of them really had kind of a Kiss sound to it. Some were really different. Some disco sounding stuff. And of course, the last song he sang was "I Wish Upon a Star." Has been kind of the Disney theme stuff. And then the last album I rated was Peter Criss's, which, of course, Peter Criss is my favorite band member and always will be. But he had just more of the big band sound, blues, big band kind of sound on his album. Way off from what Kiss does. But still a great album, I thought. So anyway, those are what I ranked those solo albums at. And those came out in 1978. But anyway, they're all great in their own way. They really were. And then, of course, I'll just throw up real quick. The great live albums. There's Kiss Alive, 1975, double vinyl record. And Kiss Alive 2, right there. And the Kiss Alive 2 had, the Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2 had books and stickers. The Kiss Alive had just a book with it, with all the era, like the different years, pictures of all of them from the different years they were together. And then Kiss Alive 2 came out with a book as well that showed, showed all the different years of Kiss. And then the Kiss Alive 2 had stickers or like tattoos, had a letter to the fans, and the book was just really cool as well. So anyway, so those were the two earlier live albums. And then of course, then here's the Kiss Alive, the Millennium Concert live album right there. A lot of great songs on that. That was on their farewell tour that they were doing at the time. So anyway, great live album, definitely. And so anyway, so that's it for the live albums with the original members. But what started it all for Kiss, in my book, was this album that came out called Kiss My Ass. And this came out right around the end of the Revenge album, which was in their non-makeup era. But when this album came out and they did all the old songs, which they had different bands doing the songs on this album, so it was a tribute to Kiss, of course. I just thought with them doing that, I knew something was brewing. I had a feeling. Wasn't sure what they were thinking of doing, but I had a feeling they were going to be doing something with all the original members. And sure enough, so that came out this came out in 94. And then 2 years later, sure enough, MTV did the Unplugged concert with all the original members, including Eric Singer and oh gosh, why can't I think of his name again? Anyway, the guitarist they had throughout the whole 90s and everything. Gosh, I'll think of him here in a second. Let me see. Gosh, I can't believe I've spaced his name. Hold on a second. God, hopefully I can get his name here. Bruce Kulick, guys. And I'm sorry, I had to pull out one of my non-makeup era albums to look up his name. But yeah, I don't know how I could have forgotten his name. And I space his name so much because it's been so long since I've heard him play with Kiss, I guess. Anyway, for a non-makeup era album, since I got it out, great album, Asylum, which came out in I want to say this came out around 1985 or so. But anyway, so sorry about that. I had to find his name or else it was going to kill me. Bruce Kulick. So anyway, let me get this put back. Anyway, so Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer was a part of that album, of course, the Unplugged album, because they were with Kiss at the time. And but anyway, but that Unplugged album is what started it with Kiss. Kiss found out that they still had it and they could play together and they could get along, so they ended up going on to do of course, the reunion tour in '96. And then I'll never forget when this came out and I saw the video on MTV. Well, they brought this album out, and this was to commemorate the reunion tour. And so this is a live album. It's just got all the different live stuff from all the live albums together. And then there's an interview with Jay Leno in the end where Kiss tells all. And they actually did that interview in the dark for some reason, they just thought it'd be neat to do it in the dark so Jay Leno couldn't see the guys in the room. So anyway, great interview with Jay Leno at the end of this, but all the songs on this are from the Kiss Alive 2. And then there's a few rare songs on here that were never put on the Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2 as well. But anyway, so that's called You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best. And again, that came out, in 1996. And then they also brought out, let's see here. And then in 96 also they brought out Greatest Kiss, which I've got the vinyl for this as well. But this was the CD they brought out, compilation studio albums. But they also included the Shout It Out Loud live song on here, which was recorded during the beginning of their reunion tour at Tiger Stadium. So when that video came out on TV on VH1 at the time, I believe it was VH1, when that video came out and I saw it on TV, that song Shout Out Loud and I knew it was from I hadn't even really understood that Kiss was getting back together completely, but when I saw that video and they were all in the Love Gun outfits, and then of course I didn't get to catch it, but I heard they were on the Music Awards and did a surprise appearance on that. But when I saw that video, I just about passed out and fainted, because I had been praying and hoping ever since I was 7 years old, or ever since I was, teenager, not 7 years old, but when I was a teenager, I was really always hoping that Kiss would get back with the original members in original outfits again and do something, and sure enough they did. So I got to go see them in Omaha, Nebraska. In '96, and that was October 24th of '96. I got to see Kiss on their reunion tour with the Love Gun outfits, original members, Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, Gene Paul. Got to go see him in Omaha, Nebraska, and I thought I was 7 years old again. I really thought I was back being 7 years old again. I really did. Anyway, but that was a great show. I loved it, and couldn't believe I was there seeing them again. I thought that was just the greatest thing in the world. I've got a dang wasp in here that's crawling on my dang phone right now. How I got a wasp in here, I don't know, but it's that time of season, I guess. Darn it, anyway. Can't believe there's a wasp in here. That's crawling around. It's not bothering me, but I hope it wasn't on the screen too much. I just caught it. But anyway, so got to go see him in '96 in Omaha, Nebraska at the Omaha Civic Arena. And then so there's my ticket and my parking pass, and there's a backstage pass I got off of one of the road crew. Was able to get original guitar picks off of one of the stage crew guys, and then I found that picture that I had to just get framed and throw in. So anyway, but there's that. So again, Omaha Civic Arena, Thursday, October 24th, 1986. Got to see my favorite band in original outfits, and I just thought I was in heaven. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so, and then I ended up meeting up with a guy on eBay that had a ticket from Dodger Stadium, which is from the Cycle Circus tour. So there's a ticket from Dodger Stadium from October 31st, Halloween, 1999. They did a concert video for that show, which you can get on their box sets. That shows all their live concerts and stuff. So anyway, but I got a guitar pick with Peter Criss, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley on there, and Ace Frehley. Right there you can see the Ace Frehley, the blue pick. So got that, and so anyway, that was a great time in my life. I really thought I was a kid again, getting to see Kiss for the first time in original outfits with outfits and original members, and I just thought it was the greatest thing in the world that I was getting to see them. And of course, I ended up getting married and had my son, so I didn't get to go see him in '98. That was the year my son was born. Didn't get to go see him in '98 during the Cycle Circus tour, but wish I could have. But I'll never forget, on Halloween night, they brought out a big thing on TV from Dodger Stadium and that whole thing that I showed you the ticket from. And so I was still just blown away that Kiss was back together with the original members. And I wish they would have stayed together. I wish they would have held together over time. I wish they could have gotten along and done well. With contract issues, that was a big issue with Kiss. That was why they didn't stay together, was because of contract issues and different things. Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley didn't feel they were getting paid the way they should have been getting paid, and so that caused everything to fall apart. But anyway, just wanted to show you really quick just a few little things. Here is a necklace with a dog tag on it that I got from the reunion tour. Never have worn it or anything. It's still in the plastic it came in. I did have this on my keys for a little while, but Kiss keychain from the reunion tour in '96, 97 reunion tour. And just got, some extra backstage passes in here. A yellow one and a green one, but from the reunion tour. So there's that. And something I kind of picked up from a seller on eBay at one time, and guy had a great rating, and I could tell the autographs were real, but all the original members on the Kiss My Ass VHS tape that came out, that I believe really started Kiss going in the direction of getting back together with the original members again. So there's that, there's the back. But this has a lot of great live footage, old live footage of Kiss and during their makeup and non-makeup eras. So anyway, there's that. And then in 2001, Kiss brought out a great box set with all their songs and everything. Some live stuff, studio stuff, demos, all kinds of stuff. So I finally ended up picking this up over time, but there's a merchandise order form in here from the Cycle Circus tour, which was actually their farewell tour at the time, I really want to believe. There's merchandise, and there you could buy from the farewell, Cycle Circus farewell tour. There's the other page, there's the back, and then there's the hype sticker that came on the box set right there. But anyway, it's hard to believe, but this book right here, I've seen on eBay people selling this for $15 or more. Sometimes it might even be more now. But anyway, then this came with a really great book with all kinds of pictures and stuff in there, all kinds of stuff, non-makeup and makeup era, as you can maybe see some of that. Just a lot of great stuff in this. And then the CDs had a lot of great pictures on there, each member on the back. And then here's the third. So there's 5 CDs total. So there's the next one with Peter Criss on the back. And there's the next one right there with Ace Frehley on the back. And then the very last CD has Eric Carr on the back. They didn't forget about Eric Carr, which I thought was just awesome. They included him in on this set with his photo. And then this box set really is really neat. On the inside, it has like red velvet that holds all the CDs in it. So just a great collectible and great thing to have if you're a Kiss fan. If you can get a hold of this, definitely try to find it. Great collectible, and just hours and hours and hours of great music on it. My God, there's just so many things on this. A lot of stuff that you've probably never even heard before that's on this. So great stuff. And let's see here. Gosh, and then just real quick, here's Here's my shirts from the reunion tour '96 in Omaha. On the back, it says "Setting Omaha on Fire," October 23rd and 24th, 1996. So there's that shirt from the reunion tour. Here's another one that I picked up at the show. There's that one with their Destroyer outfits. And I just love the way they did the flag with the KISS logo. And then there's the back with all the tour dates, Tour 96. And then the last two shirts that I picked off their website at the time. There's a Destroyer album cover, and on the back it says 20 years of destruction, 76 to 96. So there's that shirt. And these shirts are so hard to find now. I've seen them not in very good shape for a lot of money. So if you have these shirts, hold on to them. Definitely, because they're very rare anymore. Then there's that one. I love this shirt here. I wish they still fit me the way they used to wear, or the way they used to wear on me. Fit on me. I wish they still fit. But anyway, this one says Live Worldwide, KISS Alive Worldwide 96, 97 on the back. And I got these off their website before I even got to go see them. At the time I bought these, I wasn't sure if I'd ever get to see them or not, but it happened, thank gosh. And funny story is, the girl I was dating at the time, her dad lived in Omaha and got the tickets for us to go see him, but we weren't getting along at all. And I was actually wanting to break up with her. And but I thought I better wait until after the show's over, after we go see that show, before I break up with her. So went and saw the show, stayed the night down there with her dad, and then the next day we got back. And that day after I got back, I called her up and told her I was breaking up with her. So, so anyway, but so I held out and put up with this gal until after I got to see KISS, and after that was all over, I broke up with her. So don't regret that to this day. I ended up finding the right woman in my life. Got the got the girl of my dreams for my wife right now, and we get along great and have a great marriage. So so I'm glad things happen for a reason, and when they do. So anyway, I hope you guys have been enjoying the show so far today. I really been enjoying hanging out with you guys. This is probably the longest show I've done so far. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. I hope you guys learned a little something today. I really do. I think it's been a great show today, and I've really been enjoying hanging out with you guys. And I hope you guys will tune in next week. I got another great show planned for next week. And then I've got a great show planned for October 20. Well, I won't be doing, not next week, but the week after. I think it's the week after. But anyway, October 29th, it's a Sunday. I'll be doing that show on a Sunday instead of a Thursday. And I got a really great reason why. And I think you guys will be I think you guys will be very happy with why I'm not doing my show on that Thursday and on Sunday instead. So that show will be October 29th. And I'm really looking forward to doing that show. But I've got a great surprise for you guys. And just one hint, it won't be here at my cigar lounge where I'm doing the show. I'll be doing the show somewhere else. And I think you guys are going to be really interested in what is in store for that show. It's going to be a very special show. And I can't wait to do that one for you guys. I'll have some guests with me as well. So, anyway, October 29th, just a couple days before Halloween, got something very special planned for you guys. I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to really be happy with that show. So, but next week, got another great show planned for you guys as well. And, but anyway, this cigar, it's been a great cigar overall. I've had to relight it a few times, That's probably because I haven't been puffing enough on it. When I talk, I think I let my cigars go a little bit too long without puffing on them at times. And I let it burn out because of how much I'm talking. So, but I will let you guys know in the comments how the cigar finishes out. But so far, it's been really a great cigar overall. I got 3 more of these to smoke and to try, and maybe the next one I smoke won't burn out. Maybe it'll be perfect all the way through. I don't know. I'll find out. But I'll let you guys know how this one does towards the end, and I won't keep you guys anymore. But I hope you guys are really enjoying yourselves wherever you're at today. I hope you're having a great day. I hope this weekend you'll have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys can get together with some friends and family and smoke some cigars or do something special. But I forgot to mention I'm drinking rum today with my cigar. I've been meaning to drink this and let you guys know how it pairs with my cigar. But I'm drinking Kraken rum today. And I do like to try different drinks with my cigars to see how they pair up. So let me see how this pairs really quick. Pairs very well. Pairs very well. This Kraken rum's got it's a spiced rum, a dark spiced rum with caramel taste notes in it. And yeah, having a drink of this and taking a puff of this, it tasted very good together. So when you guys smoke your cigars, get yourself a good little drink to go with it. A lot of things that pair up great with cigars. So try that. It'll change your whole game on your cigars when you pair things with your cigars. So many things you can choose from to pair IPAs, other kind of beers or whiskeys, rums, all kinds of things. But if you guys are pairing anything with your cigars, rum, whiskey, whatever it may be, let me know how that is too. But keep in touch with me. Let me know how you guys are doing. And gosh, before we go, I got to do some shout outs really quick, guys. I forgot. I got some new members to mention. Right now we've got 903 members as of today. Or I'm sorry, last week we had 903 members. This week we've got 965 members. So that's 62 new members in a week. So thank you everyone that's joined. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys find this to be a very special group to be a part of rockers and smokers. There's no other podcast out there like this one. This is the only podcast where I discuss anything to do with hard rock, heavy metal, and premium cigars. But let me do a shout out to some of our new members. There's so many to read. If I don't get your name this time, I'll work on getting your name next time. Let me know if I didn't read your name. But anyway, we got Prince Euxus Humidor, John Bob, Besson Steve, Franklin Speaksman, Caesar Tex, Mex Chorizo MX, Sweet Candy Smokes, Jorn Fetchner, hopefully I'm pronouncing these right, Samuel D. Cruz, Carlos Ortero, Harold Toomey, John Brainerd, Tobacco's Nicaragua, Alex Andrew Raw Korma, Quasar Abbas Turi, Scott Vath over in Sydney, Nebraska, about 45 minutes from me, my old my old liquor rep. Hey Scott, thank you for joining, for being a part of this. I appreciate it. I miss you, brother. Judy Elagood and Ron Yarbo. Anyway, I'm sure I've pronounced a lot of these names wrong, and I apologize, but gosh, guys, thank you for joining. It means the world to me that you're a part of this and that you joined. Keep letting your friends and family know about this group page, especially anyone that's new into cigars or hard rock, heavy metal, or anyone that's been into cigars and hard rock, heavy metal for a long time. Let them know about this group page. I think they're going to be really happy with this if you catch them onto this, if you let them know. So tell as many people as possible. Try try to keep getting as many members signed up as possible. I'm hoping we'll have 1,000 members by November or December. And the way it's going, it looks like we'll probably be there, maybe plus more than, or maybe more than 1,000 even. So we'll see. But anyway, all of you guys that have joined, thank you, and that are new, and all of you guys that have been here for a while now, thank you for being here still, and thank you for spreading the word. Do want to give out shout out to my buddies over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, over at Cigar Junkies, Corey Banks, Samuel Hoffman, and Jason. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. You guys check those guys out on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify, or any platform where you can listen to podcasts. Check those guys out. They're great. Love them. And they got my total support. And check us out on Facebook, YouTube, as well as I've got some audio stuff on Spotify for this page, for this group. So check out that. But if you haven't been on YouTube yet, check out the rest of all my podcasts. If you're new to checking this video out on YouTube, check out all the other ones. If you haven't been to Facebook yet, check out Harper Cigar Lounge on Facebook, the group page I've got there, and go on to Spotify and listen to some of the audio stuff. I'm going to be trying to do more of that over time. So anyway, guys, cheers to you. God bless you guys. Keep rocking, keep smoking. Thanks for hanging out with me today for a little bit. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Especially all you KISS fans out there. Hope you enjoyed this show. But anyway, any of you guys that are getting into hard rock, heavy metal, definitely go back and listen to all the KISS stuff. And I think you'll enjoy everything they've done. But there's so many great bands to listen to and follow out there. But you guys stay in touch with me. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know what cigars you're smoking, what music you're listening to, what drinks you're drinking with your cigars or whatever. But anyway, God bless, guys. Thank you for today for hanging out with me. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you have had a kick-ass time today. But again, keep rocking, keep smoking. Cheers. Cheers. We'll see you guys later. And have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, guys. God bless.